Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Are scratches and swirls ruining the look of your ride? Well, stay tuned. We're gonna show you guys a full in-depth breakdown on how to remove scratches and swirls from your paint. All right guys, so first things first, whenever it comes to polishing your paint, you always want to make sure that the surface is clean. So that either can mean you wash your vehicle traditionally with soap and water, or you can wipe it down with a waterless wash solution. In this case, our vehicle is already clean, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that step and go straight into the decontamination process with our clay luber and our OG clay bar. So the first thing that you wanna do whenever you're planning to do any kind of polishing is decontaminate the surface. You can tell when the surface is contaminated whenever you feel your hand on the paint and it sounds raspy and rough. That's all embedded contaminants that are sitting within the pores of your paint. So in order for you to achieve any kind of results when it comes to polishing, you have to remove all that stuff before you even get to that step, because what's gonna happen is all the contamination is gonna get on your pad, and then you're gonna start doing the rest of your vehicle, and all the embedded contaminants are gonna get on your pad, stay in there, and then you're gonna be scratching up the rest of your vehicle, and you're not gonna have that glass smooth finish and or clarity. So clay luber, OG clay bar, spray the surface, don't be stingy with the lube. Seems like someone got a little excited right there with the lube, so make sure you spray it down very generously. Spray the surface of your clay bar. Then you're going to want to go ahead and start claying left and right. Go in left and right motions, never any kind of circular motions, because if you were to happen to get any kind of rock or piece of debris caught on your clay bar and you're doing that circular motion, well, you're just going to be asking for more swirls in your paint, and that's not what we want to do. We're trying to get rid of the swirls, not install more. Whenever you're clay barring, just gently glide left and right, and always make sure that the surface is nice and lubricated. Never go in a patch where it's dry, because if you have a dry surface and you're rubbing this clay bar on it, you're gonna get marring. Marring is basically gonna dull the paint and it's not gonna look great. Once you're done doing a certain section, simply wipe it off with a microfiber towel. And then you can go ahead and proceed to the next area. So I'm gonna do this half of the hood now. As you guys can see, clay barring is extremely easy. If you're planning on doing any kind of paint correction, this is one of the most crucial steps in terms of that stuff, because you want to make sure that there's absolutely nothing on your paint. Because like I mentioned, if you're really looking for glass clarity and that ultra smooth finish, this is what's going to get that for you. And not only is this going to do that for you, but this is also going to help whenever you're done polishing and you plan to apply a protectant, especially like a ceramic coating. This is going to help allow it to bond better directly to the pores of the paint, as opposed to the contamination that's sitting on the surface. So if you plan to apply a protectant and you want something that's going to last you a very long time, if you plan to apply ceramic coating and you don't clay bar the surface beforehand, it's not going to bond properly, and most likely you're not going to get that full longevity of the protection, such as like with our Hydro Slick, that one works up to 12 months. If you don't clay the surface and prep the surface, then really it only lasts you a couple months. So always make sure to prep the surface before you do anything like that for the best results possible. And then just a quick tip, you can clay bar any smooth glossy surface on the exterior vehicle, such as the paint, the glass, chrome, wheels, headlights, taillights, smooth trim like glossy trim, B-pillars and stuff like that. You can clay bar all that stuff to decontaminate it in preparation for applying a protectant or polishing. All right guys, so now that we are completely done decontaminating the paint, I did want to kind of take a step back and just kind of talk about the paint in general. Now I did say the paint was super scratched, it has swirls, it's oxidized, it has water spots, but I just want to go ahead and give you guys just a quick little glimpse of what this looks like after it's been clay barred. Now you're not really going to notice any kind of major difference. The clay bar doesn't remove any kind of scratches or swirls, but it does definitely kind of help you grasp just how bad the paint is. So in this case, we'll show you guys what this paint looks like out in the sun. You can also see what it looks like in here with our LED inspection light, and this thing is pretty gnarly. Now, one thing about this vehicle is that it is a rental vehicle, so as you can imagine, this doesn't belong to an individual. It's a company-owned car. People can care less about what the paint looks like. This car is designed to get you from point A to point B. The vehicle itself, the condition and what it looks like, they don't necessarily care for it too much, and that's why you can always see a ton of scratches and swirls, especially with these rental cars, because you can imagine, they get used, they get brought back to the facility, they get washed, and those people are designed to just get the car clean and get it ready for the next person. In this case, you can definitely tell that they did a very poor job washing the vehicle, and this can be said for any owner, for any vehicle. All these scratches and swirls, this can all come from improper wash techniques, maybe using dirty towels, dirty equipment, contaminated brushes, or maybe you still have the tags on your towels. There's so many factors that can cause scratches and swirls in your paint. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed with this, and we're gonna go into the polishing stage. page. That way we can show you guys how to get rid of this on your own vehicle. All right guys, so now that we're ready for polishing, I did take the time to just mask it off. That way we can have a nice hard 50-50 of what a corrected versus non-corrected side looks like. And the product that we're gonna be utilizing today is our V32 Extreme Compound. Now V32 is part of our V line, which is our paint correction line. You have V32, which is Extreme Compound. We have V34, which is a hybrid grade compound. V36, which is a light cutting polish. And then lastly, V38, which is a final polish. I'm gonna tell you guys this right now, this car does not need V38 simply because this thing is super jacked up. So whenever you're faced with paint that's as jacked up as this, you're gonna most likely have to go with the compound. Now in most cases, a light cutting polish like V36 can do a great job as a one step, but we wanna show you guys the deep correction. So we wanna make sure that we get all the scratches out and really revive this paint and get it looking or as close to new as possible. So I'm gonna be utilizing V32. We already have our machine right here. We're utilizing the Torque 10 Effects DA polisher with our yellow heavy cutting pad. Now this pad is designed for heavy cutting. V32 is an extreme compound, so as you can imagine, we're gonna be achieving some incredible results today. It's extremely easy to use. All you have to do is open up the spout, and then you're gonna pour about 5 pea-sized drops onto your pad. So you wanna go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're also going to be utilizing our pad conditioner spray. Now pad conditioner is a great way to preserve the look of your pads and make sure that they perform like new every time. It's extremely easy to use. All you have to do is simply spray from a distance. You can do 2 sprays, 1 spray, whatever fits better for you. And then now I'm going to go ahead and start blotting out the product onto the surface here. Now, once you blot it out, then you want to go ahead and spread it out even more. So what I recommend doing is turning the machine on to speed setting 1 and just very quickly, very easily, just spread out the product as easily as you can. That way it's nice and distributed. That way you don't have a heavy concentration of product on one side and not as much on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and spread it out right now. All right guys, as you guys saw, that took less than 10 seconds. Remember, you're not working in the product right now. All you're doing is just spreading it out. Now you wanna go ahead and start off at a certain section. So I'm gonna start off at the tape line right here. I'm gonna turn on the machine once again. And right now, I'm actually gonna turn the machine on to the highest speed setting, which would be about speed setting 5 or 6. Just because this DA, it does have that dual action motion. So if you were to apply too much pressure, it would go ahead and stop on you. That way you don't burn your paint. And it doesn't create as much speed as a rotary polisher, which is also gonna help you from not burning your paint. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it on, work it in, left, right, up and down until the product becomes clear. And then I'll be right back with you guys to wipe it off and see if we either have to go more aggressive or if it looks great as is. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. I'll be right back with you guys. All right guys, so we just finished doing the first pass with the V32 on the yellow pad, and right now I'm wiping off my compound with a microfiber towel so that we can inspect the results and figure out whether we need to go more aggressive or maybe give it a secondary pass. Now right off the bat, I will share with you guys that I do think that we can make this look a lot better. Now the paint does look much better in terms of the overall depth, the clarity, the scratches, they're not as noticeable anymore because we did a heavy cut. So we cut through most of those light and moderate imperfections, but there is a little bit more deeper imperfections, which I think we can actually remove if we were to give this a secondary pass with V32 and the yellow pad. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab my machine once again, same pad, same product, same chemical, V32, 5 drops. We're gonna go ahead and do this section, give it a 1 over, and just really see how much we can get out of this paint and how many of these defects we can remove. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab those, get everything set up. I'll do that pass, and then I'll be right back with you guys to show you the results.
The magic of an accompaniment, tailor-made for passion, passion, passion of the day. Passion, passion of the day.
All right guys, now after hitting it with the secondary pass of the V32, I'm gonna wipe off the remaining product that's sitting on the surface, and I'm gonna bring you guys in for a close-up of what this paint looks like after 2 passes with V32. You can see that there's a very, very big difference in terms of the overall shine, the depth. This looks a lot more black. This looks right here, it's very cloudy. It also kind of has like a gray kind of look to it. So if you look at this right side, it's nice and pitch black the way that it should be. Now the only thing that we have to do is refine the surface. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap our yellow cutting pad for our white polishing pad, and we're gonna also pair it with our V36, which is a light cutting polish. And that's gonna help minimize any kind of micro swirls or anything like that. So it's gonna refine the surface, really bring out that shine. And then last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and follow it up with our V38, which is a final grade polish. And that's gonna act as the cherry on top to just really bring out that overall shine, the clarity, and really give this paint the justice that it deserves. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up right here. We're gonna show you guys the final results in just a bit. So stay tuned, you don't wanna miss out. All right guys, we're back with the final results, and check this thing out. Night and day difference. The right side, perfectly polished, no scratches, no swirls, super deep black, jet black, mirror reflection shine. Left side, not so much. Left side has all kinds of scratches, swirls, oxidation, it has water spots. So this is a very clear distinction of what your paint could look like versus what it may look like. So the results that you see on this side that we've corrected is something that you would like to do on your own vehicle. Well, you know where to find our products, chemicalguys.com. So we're gonna go ahead and conclude the video right here. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a huge like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you guys wanna learn more about paint correction and polishing in general in the future, make sure to comment down below what kind of videos you guys would like to see us make. As always, my name is Joey, this is Chemical Guys Detail Garage. I'll see you guys next time.